Just even at nighttime, it was just something that hardly happens, especially at this time. So we're very happy and overjoyed to be here, especially on this auspicious day of the equinox. How many of you have celebrated equinox before? So I didn't even know what equinox was. I must not have paid attention in science classes until actually Yogi Bhajan came to America. And he said we shall celebrate equinox, we shall celebrate solstices. And I don't know if other people didn't know, but I didn't know what it was. And from that day onward, from 1970 till to this day, we celebrate every place in the world, the equinox and the summer solstice and the winter solstice. It was equal, I think it was equal day and night in the middle of last night. Does anybody know, is there an astrologer in the house? I think it was like at 1:20 a.m.
New York time, 1:20 a.m.
1:20 a.m. That's right. Who said that?
It's the Persian New Year. That's how
Oh, it's a Persian New Year. On the equinox. See, the Persians make a lot more sense than the Western calendar, because the Western calendar doesn't make any sense. They got it so goofed up that they didn't know what to do with February, right? So February is like the leftover month. And sometimes there's people that don't even have a birthday. They have a birthday, every 4 years. It's like, whoops, we made a mistake. Well, we'll just kind of cram everything into February. But it doesn't really make that much sense. But what does make sense is Creator's way of creating this world. And He's forever it shows up. We still keep getting an equal day and night twice a year. And we still get a solstice twice a year. And we still get full moons every 28 days. So those are what's constant. And what if we were to lean towards that which was constant and not towards just our roller coasters of emotions, politics, economics, and everything that appears on the headlines and in newspapers? But instead we were to just lean on that which is constant. And that's why I love equinox. Now, Yogi Bhajan started something which I want to pick up by next equinox in the fall. He had a holiday, it was called the Wish Dish. And of course we didn't know what was that, a wish dish. And to this day we don't know if he made it up or if it's something, I never heard about it in India. But everybody would bring a potluck, bring a dish, a vegetarian dish. And then he would put, I remember taking those cocktail sticks and making flags and kind of gluing them on the top of the stick and sticking them into each of our dishes, and we made a wish, which was for him, I think it rhymes, a wish dish. I think it was a prayer he was having us put on it. And then we would put all the food together on a table. And then afterwards, I remember we would all circle around the food after the yoga and the meditations and hold hands and pray that everybody's wishes come true. And then we would all eat everybody's food that was full of all these wishes. Shall we do it next time?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, good. I didn't know, New Yorkers. I know a lot of you don't have kitchens, and so we always have to preface this by saying, and you can pick up something at Whole Foods or pick up a quick something at a deli, because I know how your lives are. Most of you. How many of you don't cook at home? Raise your hand. So most of you do. So you must have a kitchen or something to cook on or in. Oh, well, that's good. That's good. So today we shall take the exterior, which is your creative force, which is the equinoxes, which is the solstices, which is everything that He keeps constant for us, and bring that onto the inside of us. Because we are the elements. Sometimes when I talk about this, it seems so foreign to people. And I say, well, what do you think you're made out of? Is it any different? Is it any different than what everything in the universe is made out of? Is it? No, it's not. Because the only elements there are, and tell me if I'm not correct, is earth, air, water, fire, and ether. Those are the 5 elements that makes up everything. And it makes up us. So an easy psychology is when you're feeling out of sorts, whether it's depressed or angry or feeling insane or anxious or fearful, you check the balances, and one is always out. So you can almost diagnose yourself, even in dis-ease, whether it's mental that's turned into physical. Because the mental always turns into physical. Physical just doesn't come out, woo, it just flew in, I don't know where it came from. Even when people say, I caught the flu, you can't catch the flu if you're not there with your hands open to catch it. You see? So what we've got going for us is our electromagnetic field, which most of you know about. And when that magnetic field, which is that light, simply that light around you, that field of energy around you, when it's strong, nothing can pierce through it. No dis-ease can come into this physical body. When it's weak or when there's holes, then you're there ready to catch the virus or the flu. So, through God's grace, and it's only through Creator's grace, but still, we are the creative force of the universe. We can now assume responsibility for our health, for our well-being. When you do get out of sorts, just stop long enough and ask yourself, what element is out? For instance, if you're very, very mental, you've been working hard, meeting deadlines, whether it's school or at the office or something like that, it's a good chance that the earth, you're out of sorts with the earth. Then you ask yourself, what's the last time I got into nature? What's the last time I got into the country? What's the last time I sat under a tree, hugged a tree, climbed a tree? So simple. Say that your ether is out. Probably indicates that you haven't meditated for a long time. Because you have to connect with the heavens also. Water. Water's big. If it's swimming, if it's lying in your bathtub, if it's drinking a lot of water, you've got to have water. We fly so much that I know that the water's taken from us when you go up in the air, because we that's why they always say to drink, because it pulls all the water out of us. So as soon as I get home, and this is a clue for all of you, you take equal portions of sea salt and baking soda and put it in your bath water and get in it, and it can take, first of all the toxicity from the airplane from you, and it can just fill you again with water, and you can absorb. Fire. We need fire. We need fire as energy. One thing in Kundalini Yoga, of course, is breath of fire, to initiate that fire on the inside of you. So we have earth, air, pranayama, breathing. Do you know that they've done research and found that a person that acts illy, that's not a word, but is really in balance and does even, let's just say, hideous crimes, they don't breathe at all. The breath is just like, and you probably felt that, not that you've done hideous crimes, but when you're in the middle of being really pissed off, angry, you just want to Check your breathing. You're not breathing. Breath has gone. And when breath is gone, the connection body, mind, and soul is totally gone. That's why pranayama is probably the most valuable tool we've got on the whole planet Earth. For peace, for healing, for mental clarity, for longevity. Every single thing you ever wanted, ever dreamed of, prosperity, is all through breath, all through pranayama. That's why yoga is based on that. That's why if you go and study the great cities, the great yogis, the power that they have with their breath is just phenomenal, what they can do. Breath. It's usually the last thing we turn to is the breath. There would be no mental illness. People breathe. Isn't it amazing, isn't it? Cancer. Everything. The pranayama is where your energy. The greatest healer in the world is your breath. So with those 5 elements, we come into tonight's event, which is this equinox, where everything is balanced. The light is balanced with the darkness. At this time, only twice a year. And then what do? We go from what was dark into light until next September, when again we reach the balance point of light and dark, and then we go into dark. We go into hibernation, as do the bears. So tonight I just dedicate this class to all of you for coming, first of all, because the longing to come into that equanimity inside of you. Does it mean you never get mad, you never get glad? Does it mean there's any roller coaster going on? No. That's the life. But it's what you bring to that. That's what counts.